Okay, we're back. It's just about 3 a.m. I'm here with Nitro Head Rush. The game kind of froze up on me. Luckily, I caught it about 20 seconds in. I don't know what it wasn't the game. It was actually the recording software, which is not good. But that said, we just took Head Rush in our standard trim down Lungs of Steel. That's the Yodel path in layman's terms. And it wasn't a bad path. The glaring weakness is she's totally stationary. The plus side is she's got this huge protective radius on her. The downside for me personally is I thought Forget Breaking Glass was going to be awesome. I pictured boulders swirling around, kind of like we saw with like Rubble Rouser type stuff. I thought they'd do increased damage past the Yodel. They did not. There were hardly any boulders. They were predictable. They did the same damage as the Yodel, and there weren't very many of them. So that, I think I guess I overhyped that one. I thought it would be, better than it turned out to be. Overall, the path's not bad. It's just, if you're into songs, opera, music, obviously that's going to be what you want to take anyway. I'm not, but I thought it would be cool because of the final upgrade. That wasn't the case, at least not what I anticipated. So it's basically the safe stationary path. If you prefer to kind of maintain not super long distance in my opinion, but like, I don't know, medium-ish. It's not like a screen cleaner like Hex's Shadow Master or something. But she's got pretty good range, and you just literally stand there and it should destroy the majority of enemies, short of like, Nightmare Mode or the tougher enemies in hard type situation. Whereas Stomp Harder, I haven't taken anything, but it's basically going to be the path that requires you to be more in the action. So that's my thoughts right now. Now the disappointing thing with Nitro, and the actual reason I picked to take Stomp Harder with her, is hoping we could get some nice speed boosts. Nitro Head Rush came with plus 24 armor, which is fantastic. Armor and speed are the two most important attributes to me still after all this time. However, she had no speed boost. They both sit box stock at 60, which sucks, because you think Nitro, you think speed. I would much rather have seen her 84 on the speed side versus 72 on the armor. However, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, plus 24 on the armor is very significant. So it's just the principle of the matter. If it was Legendary Head Rush, heck yeah, give me the 24 armor. But Nitro Head Rush, she should be a little quicker than regular Head Rush in my opinion. The real bummer, they've kind of offset the armor being plus 24 by taking away 40 health points. We're sitting at 300, and we had level 1 Head Rush on the portal, she would be at 340. So it's kind of nerfed itself out, I guess. But that said, we're going to come in here and we're going to upgrade. We're going to take Stomp Harder. This is going to improve the stomp attacks. The stomp attacks I actually really like. I don't know why, I just really like that crater. So we'll come in now. That was our pointless cutscene, just so you can be a part of the official selection, I suppose. But I've got 13 wing sapphires. That's why my prices are weird. For $12.58, we're going to get kicked off here with a Stomp to Remember. Stomp attack does extra damage. That sounds good to me. How much extra damage? Where we left off, we were doing 65, 65, 220, which is roughly bright sides 65 to 97, 200 to 300. The stomping on air was 100 to 150. And so let's see now what we're going to get. So, like I was saying, 108, alright, so why do I have 77 to 115 and then Mega Stomp I have 65, 65, 200? That doesn't seem correct, does it? So 108 off the wall, half of that's 54, so that should be 108 to 162. Let's see if we can actually get the critical. Well, that's not going to help us. I'm trying to do these slowly so it won't trigger the combo. You can see why I'm not a fan of critical hit. I mean, it's better off it just happens, Pretty sure we've done that over 10 times now, and we've got nothing to show for it. But I know it should be right, so we're just going to document it. It's 108 to 162. Then the combo is going to be, let's see. 108, 108, 280. So 108, 108, 280. And then, of course, if everything went well, you could have 162, 162, and 420 would be the 280 and a half. Then we have to check the jump attack. The jump attack stomping on air, we were doing 100 to 150. We're doing 140 now, so that should be 210. And it looks awesome. That's the main thing. So jump will be 140 to 210. So we've got that documented. I'm cool with that. We'll come in here now.
Ready for
Yes, we
another?
are. Alright, we got power steering. Turning during a charge attack makes it do additional extra damage with each turn. Pretty sure that could have been worded better. Price is 1628. What I was concerned about with this, and I mentioned it at the start of Lungs of Steel for regular head rush, charge control kind of already did this. And a lot of times when there's like the same thing basically slightly reworded, I've found to brace myself for disappointment. That said, where we went from 43 to 86 charging around, this could actually take us from 86 up to, I don't know, 120 something. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm kind of hoping that that's what's going to happen. The strategy guide description actually acts like you can pick up some serious speed, which is the other reason I did this, because I want Nitro head rush to be fast. Ordinarily, I would prefer the Stomp over the Yodel. That's just something I know. I mean, I love the Crater. I don't know why, but I do. And I would have assigned that to regular head rush. But that said, power steering, turning during a charge attack, makes it do additional extra damage with each turn. So let's check this out. She's doing the 92 still that we got in charge control. And then if we just start charging, we should have 43. Yeah, so let's see now. There's 43, we're turning. 61, that's an increase. It's 18 now. 61, 80, 99, 118. So 118 is going to be the max. Alright, so power steering. We're going to go. Let's make sure. Alright, so we've got. We'll just go ahead and, I mean, because technically 92 to 138 is part of it. And then charge will equal 43, and I've forgotten most of these numbers now. But I know the second one was 61, and then was it 80, I think? So 61, 80, and then I want to say, wasn't it 99? And we finished with 118, I believe. So let's see. I've got 43, 61, 80, 99, 118. Let's see if we're anywhere close to being right. Whoops. It'd help if we did the right attack. And you will have criticals off all this, but I mean, in all honesty, I'm not really concerned with that. So we're up to the 118. We had the 99. I think I saw the 80. Let's try it again. 43, 61. 80, 99, and then it should be 118. There we go. Now, when I tested Nitro Head Rush with just charge control, I basically just ran around right here, and I mean, I never ever lost the, you know, big hit, which at the time was 86. I just kept doing 86, 86. I thought it would time out eventually. It never did, as you can see here. If you do get hung up, I think it will. It looks like the critical that's coming off of there is a 127, which that is not critical from 118 at all. It could actually be half of 118 is going to be, what, 59? Yeah, because 60 is 120, so 18, it could be 177. But the bottom line, 43, 61, 80, 99, 118, they all have critical numbers. But in all honesty, you see them so infrequently, it doesn't really matter to me. And the other issue is the number scales they use. You often have a 0.5, Usually they don't round up, sometimes they do. I never know when they're going to change their mind. But 43, 61, 80, half of that would be 40, so 120-ish. The 99 would be around 150, the 118, 177. 61, that would be around 90. And then, of course, 43, you know, that would be somewhere around 80. So, or I'm sorry, 60-ish. But you get the idea. I mean, I'm going to list the main numbers here, and I'll put all have crits, just not frequently. So that's kind of my way of making this a 15-minute video as opposed to a 60-minute video, because critical hit numbers don't seem to like to show up. But that was actually, that was a pleasant surprise. I was scared to death that we were basically going to replicate charge control, or maybe 86 would evolve into, you know, like a 99 at the end, and that's all we'd get out of it. So it basically, you start out the same at 43, which is kind of weird. It seems like you'd have an increase there to begin with, but you jump, instead of going 43 to, what, 53? We're now going to 61. Let me actually slide this spreadsheet over. So 53 plus 8 to 61. 64 plus 16. Okay, I see what's going on here. So 43, 53 plus 8 to 61. 64 plus 16 to 80. And then 75 plus 24 to 99, and then 86 plus 32. So it basically 8, 16, 24, 32. That must be how they came up with it. So that's not bad. It's an exponential increase type thing, I guess. So we unraveled that mystery that I didn't even know we were trying to solve. Call us the Hardy Boys. Anyway, Omega Stomp for 2220. Stomp attack does extra damage and destroys the ground beneath you. That to me sounds fantastic. Again, I absolutely love the Stomp. I don't really know why, but I do. And it is standard. Stomp attack does extra damage. Okay, so let's see what we got. That's the wrong button. Alright. 140. Good lord. Okay, that's awesome. So the Stomp attack has now become 140 to 210, which is quite impressive. That's roughly almost double from where we began. 140 to 210. I'm trying to organize this in the same fashion as the Stomp to remember. So combo, we were doing 108, 108, 280. Let's see what we get now. 140, 140, 364. My gosh. 140, 140, 364. And again, that could be 210, 210. And half of 364 is going to be what? 160. No. 182, I believe. 182 doubled, it would be 364. So 36 and 18 is 54, so 546. Wow, that would be the critical hit on the combo. So where you see, you're probably going to see 140, 140, 364. It could be 210, 210, 546, which is crazy talk. That said, what did I do next? Then I did the jump attack, which was 140 to 210 when we do the stomping on air, I think they call it. So it's a 182 now. Half of that would be 91. 182 and 91 is 273. So 182 to 273. And we are documented. We got everything done there. Now the question is just going to be, what do the horns do? We know what it did with the yodel path, so we just have to see what we get here. Now the horns do change. If you don't like kind of like the more rugged, wild, natural look, don't take this. If you don't care, take it. If you want extra damage and don't care about the aesthetics, take it. $29.60 is our price with the discount. Horns of Plenty, new Traptanium horns do the ultimate damage. So I'll go ahead and grab that. There you can see the aesthetic change from the side. Here's a front view for you. And the main thing, let's see here. Horns of Plenty. Our head slam went 130. The charge 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. So, this should be different. If not, it's going to really be a buzzkill. So let's see what we've got. Head slam, 130, so that's the same thing. Now the charge, we were doing 43 all the way up to 118. Let's see where we begin now. 60, 86, 112, 138, 165. Okay, wow, so it did increase. Let me make a new entry here. So, we'll actually do
press the tag button to
Stomp
play as your captured
harder.
enemy. Then press the tag button again to return to playing
Equals.
as your Skylander.
Nah, we'll colon it. Stomp harder, head slam, 130 to 195. So that's the same thing, and then it's just the charge is going to be different. The charge starts out the same at 60, and then let's see if we can get these numbers again. Did it jump all the way to 86, I think? There's 60, 86, 112, 138, 165. So 60, 86, 112, 138, 165 all have crits, just not often. Okay, that shouldn't be bold. Let me actually, we'll come in here. This one is going to be Lungs of Steel. Alright, so let me unbold this entire thing here for you. Okay, don't freeze, Excel. We've worked hard on this. Okay, everything is all right in the spreadsheet. Okay, so that's what I had worried about. I was very impressed with Horns of Plenty combined with the Yodel Path, Lungs of Steel, because we got a very nice bump there. We went all the way up to 130, 195, and the charge 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. I was afraid that that would just supersede what we had with the Stomp Harder path, where we were basically already doing the 43, 61, 80, 99, 118, and it wouldn't have been as significant. We're talking like +2 on the top side there. Luckily, it increased. We went +26, 60 to 86, 96, 106, +26 again, +26 again, and then 138 +26 would be 138, 148, 158. Yeah, 164. So there must have been some decimal left over. They decided it was worthy being rounded up. So overall, this is a pretty great path, in my opinion. There was a 210. We actually had the 210 there. I can't believe it. I don't know what the occasion was to get that. So 140 to 210. And then, of course, if we Mega Stomp it, we got the big 364. That could be a 5, what was it, 28, something crazy like that. Which, that's just insane damage if you ever do happen to fire one of those off. No, it's 546, actually. And then the air jump, nice range. Let's actually test that range here. I think if I land in the middle of these, we should get them. Oh, we got one. I got both of them. So you get the idea. It's not just the crater. I'd say it's about double the radius of the crater is your actual zone of impact, if you will, where you can deal the damage. So that's awesome. The charge increase is great. And the main thing, if you're charging around and you're making these cuts, she actually is pretty quick. And that's the main thing. As long as you're cutting and hitting, you're going to do good speed. The problem is, once you get out in the open, you're not going to be able to always get back to make contact and maintain it, and that's when you run the risk of timing out. But while you have that in play, she does great damage. On the Yodel side, you've still got that going for you. It's going to be directional, but I mean, you can still spam the thing. You can't change the frequency. That's kind of a bummer. But on the plus side of not being able to change the frequency, it did no extra damage, so I guess that's kind of a moot point. But overall, just looking back at it, Lungs of Steel isn't bad. I think I personally overhyped Forget Breaking Glass. I had great expectations for it. It was simply not what I thought it would be. Not a bad upgrade, just not what I envisioned in my glorious little head of Skylands, you know. Stomp Harder for me is the better path. The damage numbers are a lot higher. I'm not stationary. Yes, I am more vulnerable while I'm in the thick of things, but I can get out of the thick of things very quick, and then I can come back into the thick of things and do extra damage, and then I can leave the thick of things and get faster and come back and do even more extra damage, and then I can leave, and eventually we're going to wind up doing 165 while we plow through enemies. So that, to me, that's kind of more my playstyle personally. I would rather have that. Now, Lungs of Steel does have a pretty nice little territory it encompasses, so you have to factor that in, but it really comes down to your playstyle and what you prefer. If you hate opera, don't mess with Lungs of Steel. If you love opera, and your second favorite thing in the world, I guess your first thing in the world is Skylanders, your second is opera and Vikings, no-brainer with Lungs of Steel. If you prefer the speed, or you hate the opera, or you hate musicals and singing, avoid it and take Stomp Harder. Me personally, the big thing with Stomp Harder, I mean, just, I like the crater. I don't know why, but I do. I just think it's awesome. It doesn't really, I mean, it does have that extra damage, you know, but it's just cool to me to see that, you know, physical change to the landscape. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. This one really does come down to like what you personally prefer in life, and then of course you can base that also off of your personal playstyle preference. So neither one's bad. I personally feel Stomp Harder is better. It's what I would recommend for most people. I'd say if you're like a really timid player, Lungs of Steel might be nice for you. And then if you just get slaughtered, you know, you've done a crud ton of damage, I'd imagine, by the time that happens. So it would soften it up for a character you're more of like close quarter comfortable with. So all kind of ways of looking at it and analyzing. But that's my story. Again, take the links at the top of the video description box. They will take you to either my site or the Skylander Club forum, which is safe. I run it, fear not. You can go to either site. You will see head rushes with the base upgrades. You'll see Nitro here with Stomp Harder. You will see standard head rush down Lungs of Steel. You'll have my text and analysis if you prefer to read that. You will also have my spreadsheet with all the attack damage numbers, minus the criticals, because let's face it, she has a lot of numbers here, and I would be here for quite some time. I would much rather just have this. You get the general idea. If you're really, really into head rush, you can research it yourself or leave a nasty comment and say, hey, you need to come back and finish this thing. So whatever floats your boat, but follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Personal site is oneofweezem.com. Be sure to sign up on the Skylander Club forum too. That's what I built the thing for. The more the merrier. But that said, make sure you are subscribed. If you enjoy this stuff, leave a like, leave a comment, tell your friends about it, have them subscribe. That is the best way to stay up to date with all the latest. That said, for myself and Nitro Head Rush, we will catch you back here in just a little bit as we probably explore Wallop's upgrade pass.